Is this right? Is this working? I don't know. Oh, it is working. Okay. I'm sitting at a stop sign, and I'm just going to take this while I'm driving for a minute. And that doesn't sound good, but I'm here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to take a personal record. I have just tried to give the outline that God wants for remembrance of victims and the environment of war. We have just spent days remembering warriors, veterans, Invictus, everyone that dies or is maimed in the service of war. And some of the people that are most vocal about remembering these people have been warriors. They've been involved in the service. They are royalty, and they are in the armed forces. But God, as an ambassador for heaven, in order to pound your swords into plowshares, you have to remember that it's really the earth, that it is the children, the women, and the economies that are the true victims of war. You see, war is used for social gain and for social cohesion. It is part of the history of the beast and beast worshipping. Sure, there are cases where there is natural defense of your own territory. But when you're going into other people's territory, you're cyber stalking and cyber monitoring, this is no longer the case. What the Virgin and what God the Father is recommending is the following. One, that you really identify what is the great victim of war. The earth is. The earth and this environment is its greatest victim. Two, your micro and macro economies, because that affects all of humanity, as well as the emphasis that you put into life. In fact, economists have recognized for a long time what warfare and a military economy does to the total drain. Then we move on to the victims of the innocent people, the civilians. Let's take a look at civilian children. I'm not even talking about the young boys that are sent off to war, conscripted, whether it's Islam or whether it's in Africa. They are conscripted. This is especially true in polygamous societies where men get rid of young boys in order to lessen the competition. This is especially true in their societies. We need to look at the impact of war on girls. We need to look at the impact of children being blown up, children being maimed, their post-trauma. All these things need to be looked after. We should have a day that we just study these things, and we have movies globally of what happens to the children. We need to have then a day of what happens to women that are civilians, how they are blown up, how they are hurt, how they are maimed, their trauma, their untreated trauma, them as raped victims. What happens to them when the economies are not put into the necessary resources that actually support and value life? Then we need to have a day where we look after solutions. What are the solutions that need to happen? And finally, we need a day of rest and celebration. Celebration of the children who have been hurt, the children that have been lost, the children that are victims, the women that have been hurt, the women that have been lost, the women that have been victims, and a celebration of our earth. The powers of be will not let me tape this on my computer. They kept shutting it down. They did not want it uploaded to YouTube. And I needed to make a legal record of it because I'm sure that Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, or the Prince, or Barack Obama, or someone will want to take credit for God's work. They will not.